So the thing about milk makeup is, I think everybody did it for pure reasons. Nobody was doing it just to make money, right? Rossi had this brand at Milk that had a great community around it, and he really wanted to do something that served that community. You know, Diana loved making products and understood products. Janet Gerwich, who I don't know if you know, but Janet was very helpful early on with me, and she said something to me that in makeup, it's not one thing you do right. It's a million things you do every day. You know, this is a product that people are taking, buying, putting it home in their bathrooms, putting it on their face. It's a very intimate relationship, and everything's got to be right about it, right? There are hundreds of red lipsticks. If your red lipstick doesn't have the right feel in hand, the right brand when you show it, the right lay down, the right smell, the right texture, it's just all these things go into it. And so we, I think it was good that we had this community, and we had somebody like Diana. And then the third thing I'd say is that we had Sephora, who really got it and got the brand. We kind of started off in a nice way with Sephora and Urban Outfitters, and Sephora ended up working out really well. And we raised money, and I realized that if I left, they'd probably put a salesperson in the job of running the company if I left. And when I say that, when Steve Jobs won the Harvard Business School Entrepreneur of the Year for the second time, they asked him, "How did you do it?" And he said, "Well, when you have a company, you start out with version 1, and you take version 1 to the board, and everybody gets excited, and it sells, and everybody's even more excited. Then you bring version 2, and they're really excited, and version 2 does better, and version 3, and version 4, and about version 5, right before you're going to present the new product, this guy in the corner says, or this woman in the corner says, 'Hey, I just made a big sale in Europe.' And all the business people turn to that person. And next thing you know, the next meeting starts at sales and not with product." And then he made a joke, and he said, Gil Amelio, who replaced him, was a sales guy. And he said, "Where did Steve Ballmer come from? Sales," right? You stop being a product-led company. And I think the real key thing to Milk Makeup is we did a lot of stupid things that turned out to be stupid. And we did a lot of stupid things that turned out to be genius. And you can't tell what's going to be what. I was showing the original line to somebody, and the 3 or 4 products that everybody in our company knew about beauty said were going to be great, whiffed. Cooling water, which was on the bottom row, the lowest shelf on its own, no promotion, became our number 1 product, right? And so what I wanted to make sure we did was that we didn't lose the ability to take risk. And really what I did in entertainment was you took people who were a little crazy, super creative, and you tried to make a commercial version of what they did without screwing up who they were. And that's kind of what beauty is, right? I saw it as my role to sort of make sure that Diana and Rossi, their craziness was sort of mitigated but not stifled. And then what happened was I actually liked the business, and we started getting more and more successful, and then I started getting offers to do other beauty stuff, and so it's just, I guess I'm kind of a beauty person now. By default. Yeah, but I would say that Milk's biggest success is that we knew where our community was. We didn't build product based upon marketing stats. I mean, Diana's really fond of saying, I built products that people wanted, And there are brands that were launched by big companies where somebody in marketing was like, millennials like 3 of these and these colors, and we need to have this and that. Like, artificial intelligence and algorithms regresses you to the middle. You won't fail, but you won't wildly succeed. You'll be in the middle of, metaphorically, the Peloton and the Tour de France, and you're not gonna pass anybody. You're just gonna be in the middle. Hold on, my dog might want to go out. Okay, no, we're okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love that. I mean, there's so many nuggets in there in what you said. I mean, I think the intimate component, like I'd never really heard it described as that, as it's a very intimate product, because it is. And then secondarily on the kind of being a product-led company, the thing that we talk a lot about, or that I talk a lot about, is that the internet, amplifies whatever you're going to do, right? So if it's really great, it's going to amplify it in that direction. If it's really shitty, people are going to figure it out really quickly. And that actually hasn't always been the case when it came to products, right? In the past, if you had really good distribution and you had a lot of money, you could buy all of Thursday night on, NBC and generate a lot of sales with a fairly mediocre product. But now that's not necessarily the case. So that's super cool.
So what I would say is, in the past, what's called pre-internet, because the internet's going to be the change.
Yep.
In the past, you would say, is it useful? Does it solve a problem? Does it have utility, right? Mm-hmm. So you're not going to buy a product that you don't know you have a problem for, right? Then the second thing was usability. Does the shirt fit nice? Does the car drive? Is the website good, right? And then in the old days, as you point out, you produce a bunch of ads, there's no ratings, no reviews, and you just force feed the thing, and it shows up in the center aisle at the end cap of your supermarket, and it's a hit, right? Well, today, it's got to have that problem solving, it's got to be useful, it has to have good usability, but now it has to have this new thing, desirability, right? Because if, with ratings, reviews, ingredients, that transparency, you can't produce bad products. What digital does today is it rewards greatness, but it punishes mediocrity. Bad is gone. And that's what you've got to do, is you've got to create that demand where you'll crawl through glass to get something, because there's too many options, and we were talking about Steve Jobs. Everybody knew about the Steve Jobs movie, but people didn't go because you didn't give people reason to go, yet they waited in line to buy iPhones and all that stuff, right? So you've got to figure out that desirability portion of it, and that's super important. And that's what, the Milk brand did, the industrial design, the visual merchandising with the gondolas that were different. It created this kind of like difference where we stood out enough that people were interested.